Thank you so much for listening.
Is there any place for the treatment of psoriasis in your theories?
Absolutely. Psoriasis is diet. You know your patient's psoriasis is exacerbated with stress. Right. Whenever a patient with psoriasis is in a stressful situation, it always flares up. So following what I said, if we can get them into a space where they let go of the stress, and stress is just a thought in the mind, so to get them to change their thinking, definitely it works. So when we read the book, I've given all the tools in there. There's a lot more tools that I use. There's not enough time to go through it. And diet. We find when you change the diet, you are definitely bringing complete healing. We should reverse it completely. There's no way that the body should still hold that. Now the interesting thing here is with these conditions, when you change it, we always want to go back and eat the junk. You can't do that. Diagnosed with these conditions, we need to change that kind of thinking and allow it, your lifestyle. And often with patients, they're handing their wellness to you. They don't want to take responsibility for it. And with the book, there's enough evidence for them to feel, hey, I need to sit up now and do something as well. And this book is all about empowering them to make that shift in their minds. When it's an acute flare-up and they come to you, you help them so much. But they need to do the rest of the work. And this is what I did. Yes.
Just to support some of what you said, yesterday, I've got a 91-year-old mother-in-law who lives with me. And my son works at Edendale Hospital. On the way back last night, I was still at work. He phoned me to say he hit a pothole and he's stuck in a dangerous area. So I phoned home. I was still at work. I left to go and assist him. I phoned home and I told my wife, to tell my wife that we'd be a bit late, this is what happened. My mother-in-law is 91. She's sharp as a blade. Right? She's just a bit weak, but mentally she's really sharp. Right? So she answered the phone. I asked her where my wife was. She said, no, she was out. She's going to come back in an hour. So I said, okay, when Mitzi comes home, tell her Nichols had a breakdown on the Edendale Road and I'm going to help him. And that was it. We came back an hour later, my son and myself. My wife had arrived half an hour before me. My mother-in-law was 91, had a massive diarrhea instantly after I spoke to her on the phone. But when I came back, my wife said, she's so sick, whatever. I examined her, bowel sounds were normal, she wasn't badly dehydrated. That one phone call created such a vagal stimulation that the result.
That's how powerful our thoughts are. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Sorry, one more question. In your personal, you said you had 30 lesions in the brain.
Yes.
You do a repeat MRI.
Did I do one now?
No,
No, see, I know, I need to. It'll be quite interesting. But whatever, we do the MRI, if the lesions are there, it just explains neuroplasticity, so the body made new pathways to go out. And if the lesions are gone, the body reversed it completely. I need to have one. Yeah, it's been so exciting moving around with the book launches. I never got to that. Yeah, definitely.
No, we have to do one.
Yeah.
We said we were going to do it before because Prophet gives you 2 a year. And we were going to do one by December, but we had such a hectic year after the book launches. And we never did, but we're definitely going to do one this year. We want to see as well what happened there. It'd be really amazing to see.
Interesting to see exactly what's happening in the brain. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The thing is, age, we understand that obviously you went through this whole process at a much younger age and you implemented all these changes in your lifestyle and so on, and you're actually much better now. What happens in the older patient, the much older patient? Does it make any difference if you implement these changes in a much older patient? Will it make any difference?
Absolutely, 100%. From the research that we've done, our body's making brand new cells continuously. They say about 10,000 cells per second. So we are constantly regenerating our cells. We're losing the cells and we're making new cells. So just by changing the thinking, we can now change the way the biochemistry is going, change the chemicals that the brain is releasing. It can happen, overnight even, if that thought is held strong enough, if that belief system is there, that this is what is going to shift it, this is what is going to heal it. That's how fast the body can change and spin things around. So it doesn't matter with age. In terms of MS, I'm actually diagnosed very late, and that was a big problem as well. I was told, it was downhill, because quite often it's diagnosed in the early 20s and things. And from my experience and my research on this field, age does not matter. The important thing is for the patient to really understand it. When you explain it, for them to give it back to you. The brain needs to first consciously really understand the concept that the body can actually heal itself. And therefore the book becomes such a big tool, because I give lots and lots of stories in the book. Examples, exactly what you gave me right now, on how we can reverse it. And there are stories where people had even more severe, I had a patient who came to me who was diagnosed with Charcot's disease. She was a diabetic, and she was told the foot needed to be amputated. And she came to me desperate for help, and I started teaching her mind power. I worked with her, and I think I worked with her for about 3 weeks, and the doctor told her, what, gangrene's got to set in there, we're really asking for trouble. And she went back to him, and he was totally surprised the bones were actually starting to grow. So he operated on her, put her in a cast, and said, well, about 6 months in the cast because she's diabetic. She continued doing this mountain power exercises. She used to visualize herself running on the beach every day, using Indian classical music. She was very strict with it. She did the visualization. Within 6 weeks, he removed the cast, and today she's still walking on that foot. So, yeah,
so it's not only autoimmune diseases that this will help.
Everybody.
So like motor neuron disease, you should get similar improvements.
Correct. Every single chronic condition, because all the formula does is optimize, create homeostasis within the body. We just allow the body to heal itself. Exactly how the body did it, we still don't know here. But I just created an environment for it to do the job. So this applies to all cases. Yes, sir.
Any role in probiotics to explore that route?
Sorry?
Probiotics, because that contributes to it.
Huge. Sorry that I didn't mention it. When you're looking at the leaky gut, you look at the microbiome within our body. There are more bacteria and yeast cells than human cells. We have about 70 to 100 trillion cells in us, and 10 times more in terms of the microbiome. The microbiome played a massive role in healing my leaky gut. I ate foods that the microbiome needed. I use probiotics. I make my own at home. I make kombucha, and I have that daily. So that plays a massive role in healing that. What do you do when you're playing on your phones and stuff? And they said, we don't know what to look for, how to read it. And having Rajan there as a partner, we were able to research it with different eyes. And that's the formula we came up with. Yeah.
I just want to say the person that you just spoke about with the Shakos was my cousin.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, I didn't realize that.
And I've been looking after her at Gray's Hospital,
Yeah.
And battling, and eventually.
I didn't realize that.
Initially, I didn't even know what was going on. It was hot and inflamed. I said, you infected your ankle, and she's a diabetic. But can you see how powerful a simple approach to a complex issue is? Because many of you would have got Charcot patients in your practice, but it's not easy. It's very difficult. Most of them end up with orthopedics and with air boots and all that, which he had. I want to also, and I'm really intrigued, and it seems to me it's against, whether I'm using the right word, I don't know, against medical understanding. When you say neuroplasticity and your condition and the way you did the presentation tonight, are you actually saying, which is what I think you are now and the book, that the brain, neurons in the brain, they can actually regenerate?
That's it. That's it.
So that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that's what you, But we were taught, I sort of talk to my colleagues, we were taught that when you have a brain lesion, those neurons will be permanently damaged. They will not regenerate. Can you see our teaching and our thing? In practice, they're actually regenerating through all these neurotransmitters and the other cannabinoid systems and other systems, which just gives me the impression that one's got to be very careful, because one's ignorance can actually be the reason why, you don't fully understand what is actually going on. We've got to be very careful, because we're taught that, but now with neuroplasticity, our brain is actually regenerating neurons.
That's exactly what happened. Yes, that's absolutely correct. Yeah, but it only happened when we changed the thinking. It's almost giving the body permission to do it, and that's what I had to do. Otherwise, if we don't come to that space, the body will not regenerate itself. We will stay, whatever our belief is, we will stay with that. It's the belief that's boss in us. So if the patient believes that there's nothing more that can be done, they will stay in that space. So we need to shift out of that belief. So as soon as the patient is allowed to change their belief and believe a new way of healing, then you give permission for the body to regenerate itself. It doesn't matter what the circumstance.
Mala, I must really, once again, on behalf of everybody, and thank you tremendously for this presentation, for making us aware of the powerful effect that our mind, our thoughts, our feelings, and our beliefs have in terms of controlling the function of our body. It seems as if that area of mind-body connection is not well appreciated, not well understood.
And that's when I started looking at conscious healing. And now this is the part 2 of my book. This is the exciting part of my book. Part 1 is full of the drama, and I hear it's a page turner, so lots of patients like reading that part. But when it comes to part 2, it's a lot of work that the patient needs to do, and they go through that a little bit slower. All the information that we research, we put into the book, A Flaming Challenge. And I want to say a big thank you to my husband for the carte blanche that he gave me to write this book. I'm very, very honest in the book. I take you into my bedroom. I describe everything that I've been through. Because I'm not the only one going through these symptoms. There are other patients facing that. Now, the big challenge while doing this book was to find an editor that be able to help me get this book into a space where we could publish it. We couldn't find one here in South Africa. We eventually found one in Germany. So it took me 9 months to write the book. And of course, I was really excited at the end of the 9 months. Gave it to the editor thinking she's just got to do, spell checks, English, move some paragraphs around. Oh no, I had no idea. That German blood in her broke the book down completely. And we started to rebuild that book piece by piece. She asked me to rewrite information. She would take stuff out. She would challenge me on things. So ladies and gents, I must tell you, as much as this book is written in South Africa, it is German engineered. Now, Primi Chetty, the CEO of Shooter & Shooter, she was very instrumental in getting this book to the printing process, and working together with her and Heather Hanaway. She's the director of publishing. They told me, hey guys, you're too close to the book. We need somebody with medical knowledge to have a look at this information. So we got hold of a professor in neuropharmacology, Dr. Santi Daya, to have a look at it. And we also got hold of your colleague, Dr. Jay Bhagwan, the anesthesiologist, to have a look at the book. And we waited with bated breath. And both of them came back with the thumbs up. They were extremely happy with the information that we had put in there. And so we went ahead and printed. This picture here is my graphic designer, and busy working here with 3 screens. This is Rajan doing the editing over and over and over again. And here's the final bit. We're signing off the book. It's going to